What is up, nerds? This is Crash here with a very different kind of video today. Every now and then I get a unique mapping idea, an idea I can't ignore. Something usually pretty ridiculous, but something that I generally get excited about and have to create. My brain won't allow me to do anything but think about it, and I end up spending large amounts of my time trying to accomplish it. Usually these ideas are rather complicated and tedious, as are most fun things in Hammer, but despite this, I can't not do it. If you've ever played Dwarf Fortress, you'll know about strange moods. Every now and then, a dwarf in that game will get in a strange mood and demand odd materials from you in order to create an artifact item. That dwarf stops all other work and focuses only on the task at hand. If the dwarf doesn't get to complete his task, he eventually goes insane. I'm currently on the precipice of a strange mood. I'm beginning to write down my list of required materials, prop dynamics, custom particle effects, logic cases, all the makings for this artifact map event. I've entered this state a few times before, most notably for the creation of Wub Wub Wub. With that map, I got a crazy idea in my head and I had to create it. I spent a week straight doing nothing with my spare time except work on that. I spent many late nights working on the project and pumped out only one version of that map, which is what is released today. I didn't do any testing and I never touched that map again since that week. I should, but I haven't. Now, before you get too excited, this project I'm about to start is nowhere near the complexity or insanity that is Wub Wub Wub. This one is just a rather complicated idea I have for King of the Hill Probed that I think will really set it apart from the others in the contest. I'm currently recording this at about 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday, November 10th. I just submitted Beta 3 of King of the Hill Probed in the TF2 Maps Mercs vs. Aliens contest, and I now have a week grace period to do any changes I'd like to the map. I plan on documenting this strange mood in detail until it is complete. It might be all in one night, it might be a few, it could be all week, but I don't quite know how long it's going to be at all. But enough dramatics, let's get in the meat and potatoes here. I will warn you right now, though, that some of the parts of this next series of videos are going to get technical. I'm leaving those parts in because I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who would like to see exactly how I do certain things. Plus, there's a good chance something I'm doing could be done more efficiently, and hey, sure, crowdsourcing. So yesterday during a slow work day, I was thinking about the contest and the overall theme of it, Mercs versus Aliens. Part of the contest is that every map has to end with the mothership being destroyed in some way by the team that wins. That's absolutely required for the contest. My extra gimmick on Probed is that a UFO also swoops down and occasionally over the point, sucking anyone up into it, where they have to fight to escape, giving them a buff on their way out. Kind of how the Halloween event maps work, like the Monoculus fight on Viaduct Event. But I felt like that wasn't enough. I wanted the teams to actually be able to see the presence of the aliens on the ground rather than just flying around the map above them. So I decided I want to have some of the provided alien walker props on the map itself looking as if it's being swarmed a bit. But I thought it wouldn't be that interesting or unique if they were just there stationary on the map, always in the same spots. So I thought teleporting them in would be really cool, and I even had the option of getting a custom particle effect made up for it by Fission Metroid, who created a whole slew of amazing particles for this contest. But from my experience with the minions on Trainsaw Laser, I know players are going to want to shoot them if they see them pop up. So I decided to make them interactive as well. I recalled the explosion particle Fission Metroid included in the pack, and I decided that was definitely going to be used. And then I was thinking about the finale and the mothership exploding, and I thought it would be really cool if the walkers got some sort of like self-destruct sequence, and they all popped like popcorn during the event, which, you know, whichever ones weren't destroyed by the players would be killed during that. That just sounded really cool to me, so I have to do that now too. But we can't do all this teleporting and exploding in a pattern that happens the same way each time. That would be super lame. So all that stuff I just talked about now has to also have a randomized factor on top of it. Random selection of which ones are going to get teleported in during the length of the round, and a random quick selection to explode them like popcorn for the finale. That way it's unique every time. Let me bring up my madman scribblings that I did. Here's a scan of the note that I did in a really quick hurry while at work when I initially got this idea, just so you can see the level of insanity I've been at about this project. This is basically just my rough ideas on how the logic would play out and kind of like some ideas of how everything would get set up. And yes, my handwriting is terrible. I was writing fast. Shut up. So to recap really quickly, we need to set up a large amount of these alien props to teleport into the map at random times, all with their own particle effects, sounds, and logic. Each of these need to be set up so they could be destroyed by the player with its accompanying particle effect getting triggered each time. Then we need to set it up so their explosions are all triggered at the finale as the mothership is destroyed. So as you can probably tell, this is going to be complicated. I am going to go insane, most likely. It is going to be very tedious. It is going to be just slamming my head against a wall, trying to do this, but I'm going to do it. I have to do it. I have entered my strange mood, and it must be done, or I will lose my mind. Or I will lose my mind in the process, and either way I'm losing my mind, so it should make for a funny video, so I decided to record it. As you can tell, I'm already losing my mind. I was originally planning on recording this over the entire process and editing it into one big video, but I realized that would probably get really long, so I'm going to cut it into parts and try to keep it updated live as I work on it. This might only be 2 parts, it might end up being more. But the downside of this is that if I somehow fail miserably, which is always a possibility, and I end up giving up, you all get to witness it, so no pressure there. So I'm sorry if that happens. I think I can do this. I have some really cool ideas for how it all gets set up. I think I got this. I think this strange mood will be successful. I have no idea how far down this rabbit hole I'm about to go, but I hope you guys stick around with me for it. See you in part 2.